Okay, so we're recording. Hey guys, welcome to week 74 here on the Real DVD Watchers. On Wednesdays, as always, it's me, Tom. Basically, what I've chosen to do today is something that, ever since I first saw it, I loved it. Like, the whole style, everything like that. It's so much fun. It's a shame that this movie didn't do well at all at the box office because it's a great film, but it suffered from just opening up on a really bad weekend and people not fully understanding it. Which, is stupid because they even build it in the trailers as two movies back to back. So you think people could understand simplicity like that, but apparently not. So the movie I've chosen to review today is Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror. Basically, this is a throwback to the old Grindhouse style movies, from like the 70s, where like the film was really grainy. It had like a lot of boobs, a lot of blood, not a whole lot of storyline, mind you, but still, it was overall a really good time. So basically, what's going on in this one is about this girl named Cherry Darling, played by Rose McGowan. Pretty much, she's at it with her job as a go-go dancer. She decides she's gonna up and leave, and as she's leaving, it cuts off to this military place where Bruce Willis is leading this group who've been infected by some chemical, and they need this other chemical in order to keep themselves from getting all boily and bubbling, and then they try to eat people. I don't know. It's kind of hinted on that they're zombies, but they're not really zombies. But anyway, Naveen Andrews plays Abby, who's like this biochemist. Naveen Andrews, of course, from Lost. This is like his first big thing outside of Lost, and so it's about him pretty much screwing them over when it comes to the chemical. So the chemical gets out and starts infecting the town folk, and as Cherry Darling goes to this this bar. No, sorry, it's not a bar. It's a barbecue pit where this guy TJ who's trying to make the perfect barbecue sauce, and everyone knows TJ in town. So pretty much she's hanging out at his barbecue pit, and then her ex-boyfriend El Rey comes in, and Ray's played by Freddy Rodriguez, who steals the show. I mean, he's just great in this movie. He comes in and pretty much it's hinted that him and Cherry were once in a relationship, and then they broke up. And pretty much so Cherry's like, hey, I need a ride home. He decides to give her one. So from there we see Josh Brolin and Marley Shelton's fan life, which pretty much Marley Shelton, they both play doctors, and Marley Shelton is pretty much in this loveless relationship, at least so she feels. And so she's going to hook back up with her old girlfriend, played by Fergie. I hate Marley Shelton. And Josh Brolin plays her husband, and Josh Brolin is just fucking frightening. Like, you can tell he's almost at points he wants to hit her, but he knows it's wrong, so he stops himself. But you can just tell that if he could get away with it, he would. So pretty much she's deciding that today's the last day she's had it. After she's done work, she's going to leave with her son and Fergie's character, and they're going to go and start a new life together. So at the hospital, people start pouring in. The first official case is Nicky Katt's character. He comes in, he's got he has a bite on his arm, and pretty much Josh Brolin's like, how old did you say this bite was? And he's like, maybe just a couple hours. He's like, it looks like it's been 2 weeks. And of course, other people start showing up. They have bubbles all over their face. So cuts back over to El Rey and Cherry. They're driving her home. That they hit, I think it's a person who, it's one of the infected. They hit one of the infected. His truck flips, and Cherry gets dragged off, and then her legs gets eaten. And then El Rey goes and gets to the hospital, and that's when all the shit hits the fan, and just everything starts going crazy. I don't want to ruin too much for it if you haven't seen it yet. But I will say this, though. Tom Savini has one of the greatest roles in this movie. It's absolutely great. He's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about The Gore by Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger. It's absolutely great. I mean, when Tom Savini gets ripped apart, it looks so good. And also, when the blood's flying off, people get shot, it's so over the top. Like a simple gunshot, the blood just explodes out, and it looks so good. Oh my god. You just cannot help but just laugh and smile, because for me, this was such a throwback to that style. Not to discredit Tarantino's in any way, but for me, this movie more so felt like a more throwback. If you understand what I'm going for, I mean, it was just an overall great time. I mean, you had witty dialogue like Cherry Darling, like every time she says she can do something good, she's like, oh, it's my useless talent. It's my useless talent number, blah blah blah. And for me, it's kind of sad to see that part of it where she's like, you know, it's kind of a useless talent. It's like, no, you got that talent for a reason. You have to use it at one point or another. So from there, it just builds and builds and builds and goes on to like this ridiculous final scene where like they're trying to get across to these helicopters, and just all these infected are trying to stop them. It's just great. Oh, and also another really good thing about this movie, Bruce Willis is in it, and at least for me, this was like the last movie Bruce Willis has done that he's been really good in. If you think about it, he hasn't really done anything that he's been absolutely spectacular. I mean, Cop Out, he was okay, but this, he was just so spot on in what he was doing. It was absolutely great. Direction style, Rodriguez knew exactly what he was going for. It was absolutely great. I mean, yes, there was some stuff he couldn't do due to budget constraints because, you know, they had to share their budget. But still, I'm really glad he was able to accomplish what he did, because the overall feeling of this movie is just a great time. You know, you're just laughing, or you're like, this is awesome. You know, it can be a little bit monotonous at times. Yes, I understand that, but just for me personally, I just really like this one more, you know. So if I had to give this movie a rating out of 10, it would definitely get a 7 or a 7.5. I mean, it's a really good movie, but just, you know, it does lack in some ways, because you could tell he wanted to do some things much more grander, but just he couldn't due to budget constraints and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dock points from him. Not to say that I don't love Rodriguez, because Rodriguez does make great films. So yeah, that's the review of Planet Terror. I can't remember it's on this side. It's on my left side. So yeah. So thanks to everyone who watches and subscribes. You guys rock. I will see you guys in a week's time.